Hey guys, so I just kind of want to do a brain dump from I was here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I mean just the information was just amazing. I've written some blogs, and yes, I've gotten assistance from AI, but um, these are blogs of just issues I see in front of me, information. One of the biggest things was this right here. This is a big clue, agent mode within. Now this is Chat GPT Atlas. What I saw in this conference on Thursday for an hour and a half was amazing. I mean, it was automated, different systems talking to each other. And they were doing YouTube shorts on this thing, you creating a Google Drive structure, pretty much anything. I did one before I ran out of credits because you're limited. So on ChatGPT Plus, I think you have 40 instances, and then maybe like business or pro you might have 400, but I ran out in 11 hours. So I need to look for a solution to pay per use. Now, have I figured it out 100%? No. I mean that's where I'd like to, where I know through this process I'm going to have to pay for some real qualified help, or I'm going to be researching it myself, which I think there would be more efficient ways to spend my time. So let me keep going back here. Um, this one just talks about the future of AI agents and how they replace outsourcing. This is talking about Atlas. And I mean, it just Atlas could have like 10 blogs dedicated to it. I mean, just what I saw in Atlas um, was just amazing. Building AI agents without tech skills, that's kind of going back to, if you understand the business process, there's a lot of these builders. This guy was at the conference, but there's a bunch of them, and I even wrote a blog. Um, I wrote a blog about some of the different AI agent builders. So from outsourcing to insourcing, I think that all these are a good read. I mean, would it take a couple hours? But um, and this is just a general summary of the Digimarcom Las Vegas. The two types of interfaces, the two types of AI. I think this one is important, especially important because you're really looking at two AIs. AI that runs autonomously or even semi-autonomously, meaning you might have to start it physically, but it just runs in the background. The other one would be really is revolving around ChatGPT Atlas and how different processes, because it might be on the fly. I mean, it might be something you see that causes you to do something else, but just having that layer of artificial intelligence wrapped around your system. So I kind of like to say one is hardware, one is software. It kind of comes down to that. But anyway, and then I recently wrote this, and I'm really pumping out one a day. Um, and I have just so many ideas based on this. And let's go back. So I've kind of covered what I've written in my blogs. And then where I'm at, I've loaded this. I use Basecamp for right or wrong. I've just used it for years. So now I have to kind of come up with the structure and some of the information. I'll go through my YouTube videos. This is kind of what I'm selling. I mean, basically, it's like I'll automate you 6 months. The automation cost is really about 6 months of labor. So, but in 6 months, ROI, you get your ROI back. I think it's a great deal. You have a small monthly, monthly maintenance fee, to maintain all this, but once it's there, it's yours. Um, there's no obligation. I think someone will want to use me, use us for some of the maintenance, but it's not required. Um, Let me go back here. Okay, this is some more notes, because I'm going to want to do a good ROI. I mean, I'm a salesperson as much as anything else, so I'm going to have to sell this. Hey, why you want to spend? Um, I mean, my 6 month ROI on some of the labor, I would say by automating it, it could be $18,000. So, that's a big chunk of change. you want to be able to justify it. So, okay, let's move on. MCP server, that's a server that kind of hosts some of these AI agents. They can run on a laptop, um, but it's probably more efficient as you get bigger. And this can be, here's the prices in here, and I'll kind of scroll down so you can stop this video and you can read any of these at all time, or you could request to get added because you'll want to see it as I go. So here's the intake form. This is more raw notes because this would be the second intake form. So the first one, where do we go here? First one would kind of come like this, but even this is provided for the client to approve. There'd be a series of intake forms, and then I guess output forms to end up into a place like this that you can prompt. This is very specific, very technical. I don't know what you want your business owners necessarily looking at this. They're going to look at something more like this to approve, and then we'll have a more simplified question and answer form just to build out. And we're basically, this is a very simple process, so it wouldn't look like, look how complex this gets. And you could even have it more, this is probably even simple compared to what it could be. Here's the AI output. So really understanding how some of these work, and a lot of times with these building out these agents, you are going on a template. So it's all been done before basically, and you just need to modify it to your client's business needs or your business needs. Okay, MCP. This is kind of defining what an AI engineer is, and this is obviously just ChatGPT, but you can see here, I kind of want to reach out into the AI engineering space just to have, and I know it's not going to be cheap. These are not, $20 an hour developers. It's more like, 80 to, you could pay 150 hours and get value for it. I'm a big value guy, so let's keep going here. Okay, process to audit. This is talking about, I think if it was allowed for security reasons and a bigger system, I think you'd put it. I think you have some sort of a software automation process, pull all the keystrokes to really understand what systems they're using to be able to build out something like this. Like System 1 talks to System 2, but to really understand that, you would need to grab the data. So this is a work in progress. General startup costs, and then these are the blogs. You can really look at any November blogs. I don't know that I've updated this, and this is all tasks needed. These are just, some of these are notes and just really not ready for. I'm only a few days into this. Keep in mind, I'm still in Las Vegas, and the show is in Las Vegas. Business goals. Define your core offering. And I think as I'm learning more, I'm going to be updating these. I think these are pretty much define your core offering. You understand the business workflow. I think that's critical. I think some of these things don't change. Choose your AI agent or stack tools. Boom. And this one is the Smith.os. That's what we're looking at right here. Agent engineering process, document this, create a demo library. Now I think this is going to be important, because as we build our library, when we run into a business of the same type, the implementation and the cost to implement it will be cheaper. Prices and retainers, legal security, onboarding, delivery process, support and expansion. And these are just the basic notes of what needs to be done. And I think that's it. That's really, it really comes down to looking at every single business process and bringing in what can be automated. And the sky's the limit with this stuff. And then, the takeaway is I am using ChatGPT Atlas here. And I've run out of credits, but asking stuff in agent mode and knowing how to do that. And I guess the other thing is having some of I have page prompts on another Basecamp task, but really having a library of page prompts that you know will work for you. I mean, the better you prompt, one of the guys at the conference they do hundreds and thousands of articles, and they're coming in at 100% just because no, they're not writing a paragraph page prompt. Some of these page prompts are 2, 3 pages, 4 pages long, depending on what you want to get. And the show becomes available on demand in a couple weeks. There was one part that was really talking about page prompts. I'm going to write that's an upcoming blog. So the skill of being able to write page prompts, it's definitely its own skill. Okay, thanks.